Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Into the Unknown. We are going to start off today's episode with a small dive. Yes, really just a small dive, because we just need this one coral fan. And I have to say, this lukewarm ocean just looks magnificent. But let's go back to the valley, because we have things to do. Before we get started with the things we need the coral fan for, I got some questions regarding the creeper farm we built last episode, and how it works. So here's a small time lapse. Basically, only creepers can spawn, because the height of mobs is 2 blocks for zombies and skeletons, and a little under 2 blocks for creepers. So we place the trapdoors on the ceiling, so only creepers can spawn. But this leaves spiders still in the mix, because they only need a 3x3 and 1 high. So we place down these carpets on the bottom, and so they can't spawn here. So we now regulated that only creepers can spawn in this farm. And to make this farm more efficient, we have the cats on the sides, and creepers are scared of cats, so they run away. And in the middle, we have the trapdoors, and the open trapdoors. The pathfinding can see if trapdoors are open or closed, so the creeper tries to run across and falls down. And this is where all our creepers go, and we can farm them easily. Last episode, we looked at Genesis 13 verse 2. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. And as you can see, we've accumulated quite a large amount of iron and gold, and even some diamonds and netherite, because we are in Minecraft, and Minecraft-rich people always have diamonds and netherite too. So we upgraded our tools and our armor, and you might have recognized we haven't finished the first part. Abram was very rich in livestock. We have a few sheep and cows, but we can't say we are rich in livestock. And this goes hand in hand with the next project, the next mega build we are going to do, because we need wood for both of them. We need a lot of wood for the fences, for the livestock, and for the next build. And because we need a lot of wood, we are going to build an automatic wood farm. And for the style points, of course, with TNT. Let's get all the materials we need. Of course you need wood for the tree farm too. And it feels kind of weird knowing that these might be the last trees I chop down in a while, because it's an essential part in Minecraft and the starting experience every time. But of course TNT-powered farms are more fun. Let's bring our beacon and head over to the mining mesa, because we need some glazed terracotta. Glazed terracotta has a really interesting mechanic, because it doesn't get pushed by slime or honey blocks. So it's really useful for these kinds of farms. And I really like the look of the mesa, with all these different colors. It looks really nice. Do you know this feeling? You're just down here in your mining area, thinking you can farm some slime, so you can build your next farm, and all of a sudden, you end up with a fully automatic slime farm. With 2 stories. Yes, this happens way too much. It's very simple design by Gnembon, where all the slimes are collected in the 4 corners, and end up in these chests. And slimes don't take up much memory, so it doesn't get laggy at all. But this farm will prove very useful in the future, because you need slime all over the place. For sticky pistons, for slime blocks, basically for a lot of things. I have gathered everything we need in these 2 shulker boxes, and as you can see, a lot of redstone components, the slime we talked about, the coral fan, and lots of other things. So let's pack our shulker boxes into the ender chest and head over to the place where we want to build this tree farm. By the way, I organized my ender chest, so I color-coded and named all the shulker boxes in my ender chest. So let's have a look. We have tasty bits. Basically just pork chop all over the place. It's a bird, it's a plane, for spare rockets, because you always need rockets. Useful bits. Basically, things you always need and are handy to have. Friends and family. This is basically everything for villagers, animals, and transporting them. Redstone bits. As the name suggests, redstone. Golden times. A lot of gold. Spooky, scary skeletons. Bones and bone meal. And we got our whoopsie box, which is basically our backup. If we die, we can use this gear to get our stuff back. And it also serves as a kind of divider for empty boxes and boxes filled with anything like dirt, glass, magma blocks. And of course, slap that like button. With slaps. And you might as well slap that like button. As you can see, I installed a data pack, so I can see into the shulker boxes without placing them. This is part of Vanillatweaks, which is basically tweaks to vanilla Minecraft, so it doesn't change the game too much, but still offers a few quality of life changes. I will link it in the description too. Now I have definitely talked enough, so let's get started with the building of the tree farm. The tree farm is now finished. Only the item collection is missing, and I will do that later. And I realized I didn't talk too much, because I didn't even tell you where I am going to build the tree farm. And of course I'm going to build it where we are going to need a lot of wood, and where we can run the farms simultaneously. So right next to the tower we built last episode, where we are going to settle down, probably in the next or in 2 episodes, we'll see. Depends on how fast we can go. This tree farm is basically split into 2 components. The tree farm itself, which pushes out the logs, and the TNT duper on top, which drops the TNT to explode the trees being pushed out and making them ready for collection. I will just add the item collection system, and then we can see this farm in action. From this perspective, you can easily see how this farm works. We have the 2 sides with the slime and honey blocks who crush the leaves, and the wood gets pushed out to where the TNT falls down. And everything gets collected with the help of the water streams below. This is a farm designed by Ilmango, which is of course also linked in the description below. How do these wandering traders always spawn in the weirdest spots? I mean, inside of my item collection system? Come on! But at least it's working. So we've got our item collection system, we gathered a lot of wood. I will just work around this a little bit so the bone meal can be just once right next to the item collection system, so we can grab the wood and fill it up with new bone meal at the same time and at the same point. I still can't believe you've gotten in there. This wood farm absolutely chews through our bone meal, so I've collected 4 shulker boxes of bones, and I'm going to craft them up to bone meal and fill up our system here. And as you can see, now all the hoppers and the chests are full of bone meal, and I actually got a little bit spare. Let's start this machine so we can continue the story. I have some good and some bad news. Bad news first. My TNT duper blew up. But the good news is, we've got lots of wood. So I will just fix the TNT duper, repair everything, and we can go and craft a lot of fences. 1 shulker box of fence crafting later, and I will lay out where we are going to build the enclosures. Here on the right side we will have the enclosures for the sheep, right in this area. And on the left side in this area we will have the enclosure for the cows. This will serve as a kind of border too, so we don't have mobs running in from the side. And we will have this middle area nicely lit up and kind of safe even in the night. the enclosures are now finished, and at the places where I didn't use fences, the surroundings are more than 1 block high, so the sheep can't jump up. And now the breeding process begins, because we only have a few sheep. That's not a lot of them. When we breed the sheep and the cows, I will tell you a bit of the story from Genesis 13 again. So Lot and Abram both moved together, and they both had huge livestock, and the herdsmen, they were in a conflict, because there wasn't enough land for all the livestock to go, and not enough water and grass for them to eat and drink. So Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen." So they decided that they separate and go in different directions. So I'm sorry to say this, but goodbye, Lot. We will see each other. And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot has separated from him, "Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land that you see I will give to you, and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you." So Abram moved his tent, and came and set it by the oaks of Mamre, which are at Hebron, and there he built an altar for the Lord. But the oaks of Mamre aren't finished yet, as you can tell, and we will build them in the next episode. The oaks will be built around the farms that we've built in the last episode and this episode, but I was quite busy, so I couldn't finish that in this episode. But I added some things, for example, small achievements when I'm reading verses out of the Bible, so you can see which parts are from the Bible and which parts are from the gameplay. And I've also created a Reddit account and a Twitter account, so you can follow me there if you are interested. I will leave the links in the description below, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Goodbye.